Welcome to the Digital Edge.
Great to be here.
Today we're jumping into a really fascinating story, Traveloka.
Ah, yes, a huge name in Southeast Asia's tech scene.
Exactly. And specifically, we want to look at the founder, Ferry Unardi, and how he took this company from, well, basically an idea born out of frustration through some major hurdles to become the success it is today.
It really is a classic entrepreneurial journey, isn't it? Full of challenges. We've got some good background on their start, their growth, and yeah, those obstacles they had to climb over.
So let's start at the beginning. The initial spark, it came from Unardi's own headache, right?
Yeah, completely. He was working in the U.S. and trying to book flights back home to Indonesia was apparently a nightmare.
I mean, complex, time-consuming. You mentioned needing separate flights like Indianapolis to Jakarta, then another one to Padang.
Exactly that kind of thing. Just clunky, no transparency. And he was doing this pretty often, sounds like.
For like 8 years, apparently. So you do that enough times, that frustration builds, and then bang, the aha moment.
Right. He saw this wasn't just his problem. It was a systemic issue, a gap in the market, a chance to, actually fix it.
So he takes the plunge. This is 2012.
Yeah.
He founds Traveloka in Jakarta. And the name, Traveloka, it's travel plus loka, Sanskrit for world.
Yeah, kind of world of travel. Nice ring to it. And what's interesting is his background. He wasn't like a travel industry veteran.
No, he was a software engineer at Microsoft.
Right.
And get this, he started an MBA at Harvard, but left after just one semester to do this.
Talk about conviction.
Okay.
He teamed up with Daryanto Kusuma, also ex-Microsoft, Stanford background, and Albert Zhang from Purdue. So a very tech-focused founding team.
Which you'd think would be an advantage, but they hit roadblocks pretty much immediately, didn't they?
Oh, absolutely. One of the first big ones was just getting Indonesians comfortable with paying for stuff online.
Yeah, that's a huge cultural and infrastructural hurdle, especially back in 2012.
Yeah.
How did they even tackle that?
Well, they didn't just expect people to adapt. They went out and collaborated really closely with local banks, different payment processors.
So offering options people already knew and trusted.
Exactly. They needed various payment methods, things that worked even in less urban areas, not just for city dwellers with credit cards. That local understanding was critical.
Okay, so payments were one hurdle. What about the airlines themselves? Were they eager to partner up?
Not really, at least not initially. The big established airlines kind of just ignored them.
Seriously. A new platform trying to make booking easier, and they just get the cold shoulder. Why do you think that was?
Well, could be a mix of things. Maybe underestimating the online potential. Maybe worried about disrupting their existing sales channels. It's hard to say for sure.
So what did Unardi do? Just wait for them to come around?
No, his philosophy was pretty clear. Focus on the user, build an amazing service that solves the core problem really, really well.
The whole build it and they will come idea.
Pretty much. He believed if the service was great, users would adopt it, and then the airlines would have no choice but to pay attention. A bit of a gamble, but it worked.
And it seems they did come. Traveloka didn't just stay a search engine either, right? They pivoted.
Yeah, that was key. By 2015, they weren't just comparing flights. You could actually book directly through them. They became a full online travel agency, an OTA.
And even before that, hotels in 2014, recognizing people need the whole package.
Right. And mobile apps, too, also in 2014. Super important given how fast mobile internet was growing in Indonesia. They kept adapting.
Let's talk about pay later. That sounds like a really smart move, especially for that market.
Oh, absolutely. Launched around June 2018. Since credit cards weren't, everywhere, this let people book travel and pay installments later. No credit card needed.
Huge accessibility win. And by 2019, like 500,000 users. That's serious traction.
It really was. And that kind of innovation, solving real local problems, that must have helped when they were looking for investment. Because getting funding early on couldn't have been easy.
Yeah, I bet. Pitching an unproven online travel model for Indonesia back then. Tough sell.
For sure. But they got early backing from places like East Ventures in 2012. And as they proved the model, showed user growth, bigger names came in.
Like Expedia in 2017, that was a big one, right? Pushed them into unicorn territory.
Yep, that was major validation. Then you had GIC, Sequoia, JD.com, others joining in.
The momentum built up.
It's also interesting how they seemed aware of, the pitfalls other fast-growing tech companies were hitting.
You mean like the Uber or WeWork stories? Burning through cash without a clear path to profit.
Exactly that. Traveloka seemed to make a conscious shift towards profitability, didn't they?
It appears so. Expanding into lifestyle stuff with Traveloka experience, activities, attractions, even VR games that wasn't just about growth. It was about keeping users engaged and finding more revenue streams, less reliance on just discounts for flights and hotels, a more sustainable approach. And look where it got them. Biggest online travel agency in Southeast Asia.
Over 60 million app downloads, 40 million monthly users back in 2021. That's massive reach.
Valuation around $3 billion, recognized by Fast Company. And they just paid back a big $300 million loan early.
Yeah, that early repayment is a really strong signal about their financial health now. Shows how far they've come from those initial struggles.
It really boils down to Unardi seeing that personal problem, that frustration, and having the guts to actually do something about it, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Leaving Microsoft, pausing Harvard, those are big risks. But he clearly believed in the solution he was building.
And that willingness to tackle the hard stuff, the payments, winning over airlines, understanding the local needs, that seems crucial.
Totally. Plus the adaptability, the pivots into hotels, mobile, pay later, lifestyle. They didn't just stand still.
It really drives home that building something significant isn't usually a straight line. It's messy, full of challenges, but that belief in the core value keeps you going.
And that ability to learn and adapt along the way, it's a great story of resilience.
Makes you think, what everyday problems are we just putting up with? Could one of them be the next big thing?
Definitely food for thought.
Well, that's all the time we have for this look at Traveloka's journey. Thanks for tuning in to The Digital Edge.
See you next time.